workouts
At
in the
5
morning.
a.m.
6.
How are those going?
Good. I go have either about 6 to 12 kids every morning. Every other morning, I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Hmm.
But started doing I was gonna do like private individual workouts after work, but I could not figure that out in my schedule
Hmm.
because you do need your time for yourself and time for yourself to go work out too. And I just could not find that time, that balance. So I was just made a decision of, you know what, if you're gonna come to morning workouts, it's $5 a session. That's it. And my thinking of it's like $15 a week isn't really that much to get extra workouts in. So I figured
Hmm.
$5 was
Oh,
fair
you
for
do
a
it three
morning.
times a week?
Yeah. So
Yeah. How many kids are you getting?
last time I had 12. That's
Ooh,
about the most I get is 12. Um,
that's good numbers right
the
there.
least amount on average is about six. About 6 kids, six to
Yeah.
12 kids. No, that's good. I found
Hmm.
I did a new drill today that was just playing around with the cones that I'm gonna have them do tomorrow. That I'm gonna see how that works out.
What was it?
So I put the cone in a triangle, top of the triangle at the 3 point line, and first cone they have to do one move, second cone they have to do another move. So like double moves right away.
Hmm.
So like in between the legs, crossover, go
And
down
getting to
right,
a pull up or what?
get to a pull up or to a layup, kind of whatever they want to
Yeah.
go do. I let that one go free range a little bit when we do stuff like that.
Let them play with their game a little bit.
Yeah, I let them do what they want to work on. But the moves and stuff are strictly controlled. I control that.
Yeah. Because they'll start doing some outlandish stuff sometimes. It's like, hey, man, you're not
Yes.
Jamal Crawford out here.
Chill out. You chill now.
You chill, just go between the legs like everybody else.
It's always you always get that one kid at like camp or something like that that thinks, oh, I can do this. I'm gonna put a little sauce to it. No, can you please
Put a
just
little sauce, dude.
can you can you please
Hey,
just
man,
do the drill the right way?
you're struggling with a right-handed layup right now, and you just went with the double move step back. Come on now. Reel it
Oh,
in.
let's work on the layup first, and
Yeah.
we'll get to that point, buddy. Don't worry, but that's gonna be a couple days down the road.
They just want to get in their bag a little bit, which I respect that.
Yeah, they're digging
But
in a
it is,
bag with
it's
nothing in
too,
it.
there's nothing at the bottom.
No, they're searching. Where's it at? I know I had this move. Oh,
No
that's right.
fries at the
It was
bottom.
on 2K. I had that move on
Mm.
2K. That's where I did
Yeah, you've worked on it more on the joysticks than you have on the court, big dog.
it. Pass Pass the real life joysticks.
All
Okay.
righty.
Episode 17. Is that right? That's crazy. Episode
Moving
17.
on up.
Moving on up in the world. um, it's a little
It'll
later
be
in
a
the
quick
week.
one. Gonna be a quick
Yeah,
episode,
gonna be a
yeah.
quick one. A little later in the week with the finals going on and all that stuff. Was gonna do this yesterday, but dummies realized that there was a game on and decided to watch the game
Yeah.
instead.
We figured that might give us something to talk about today because
hmm
we were talking about before this that before we press record that it's kind of the only hoops going on right now is NBA stuff,
Yep.
and so everybody's talking about the NBA, but we want to be able to give some content that's a little more insightful or, maybe we have a guest on. So We're gonna keep this one short today.
Oh, dude,
What?
I'm still laughing at that was a big moment. That was a big pause moment, and it
I
didn't
was gonna
get
say I
addressed.
was waiting for you to say it, to be honest with you.
Oh Lord.
I was
Nuggets won
I was
last
giving you
night.
your opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't want to take it. But the Nuggets won last
Yeah.
night by 15. Pulling up the pulling up the
Hmm.
score right now.
I don't even
109
have
to
my stats
94.
up.
Um Jamal Murray with another 30 piece. Him and Jokic 30-point triple doubles.
Hey,
Jokic's
what
was
was
a
that site you said that was
stat muse.
the stats stat muse? That's
Stat
right.
muse.
I gotta make a
Jokic
bookmark.
with 32, 21, and 10. Good God.
Mm,
Um, Jamal Murray with 34, 10, and 10. Got the petty 10th rebound with like 5 seconds left off Udonis Haslam's miss, but hey, we'll take it.
yeah, can't
Um,
hate.
MVP of the game, Christian Bronze, 15 points, 7 of 8 from the field.
That was your MVP for him.
Yeah, he had like 12 points in the third quarter when they went on that run.
Hmm.
Aaron
Yeah, he
Gordon,
did come up big.
another solid 11, 10, and 5. He is, I think, the kind of a key factor of the big three that no one talks about. Um,
I agree with that.
Michael Porter Jr. still struggling. He had 2 points with 7 boards. Jimmy had 28. Bam had 22 and 17. Bam's had a good finals, that's for sure.
Mm.
Um, but Caleb Martin has been struggling. He had 10 points, 4 of 9 from the field.
He got going a little bit right there in this. Was it the
Yeah,
second quarter? I think it
yeah,
was.
he had that 8-point run on his own.
Yeah.
But he's been pretty quiet. He looked like a Denver Nuggets are making the Heat kind of look like the 8th seed, the playing team that the Heat were coming into the playoffs.
What do you think that is?
Just struggling to find that second score or the third score. Who's going to be the third guy? You know what Bam and Jimmy are going to give you, but for like the Nuggets, you know Jamal and Nicola are going to give you something, but it's either going to be Bruce Brown giving you something, Braun giving you something, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr.,
Mm.
Caldwell Pope. Like they have all these other dudes that can score, but that are good role players. I just think Miami just out of like pure talent is running
I
out of
think
pure
the
talent.
I think where Miami looked good was when they were kind of putting Jimmy Butler in the pinch post area, kind of short
Yeah.
corner, mid-range post area, and they were running a guard at him and setting a ball like a little down screen ball screen on him, and he was just getting that switch and working out of that pinch post ball screen and just shooting over the top of guys. And then he was also making the right reads. Um, but that's when I thought they were doing well and kind of controlling the shots they were getting on the offensive end. Because I think, to your point, they have guys that can do it, but I don't feel consistent about the guys that might be their secondary or maybe third playmakers on the floor.
Yeah, agreed.
Whereas the Nuggets, I do.
Sometimes the lights get too big. Like that's a real thing.
Hmm.
Um, Lights get too bright. But game 4 will be interesting because really that was a good game for the first half. Like it was 37-33. The Heat were starting to go on that run, and
Hmm.
then Jamal Murray hit a big three to kind of keep it close. But it was like it felt like any given moment that could have been the Heat's game to win.
Hmm.
It'll be interesting to see. Tyler Harrow's not yet cleared for games. That was what I was just about to say. It's be interesting to see how he shape if he can go. But honestly, I don't think he'll. he would provide any type of like help personally. Tyler Hero.
I think you don't think he would? I mean, if he's going
Uh,
to come back, that means he's going to be ready and healthy to play. Like
yeah.
he's been rested enough, so he's good to go. I think he absolutely would. That's a shot maker and a guy that can create his own shot a little bit off the bounce. I haven't really seen as much of him playmaking for others, but certainly a guy that's a threat. And like I said, if he's going to be playing, it means he's healthy, especially coming off a broken hand.
Yeah.
Um, but
No,
is he going to be a difference maker? Like, I don't necessarily think that big of a difference maker because this is one thing I wanted to ask you, and I think going to be a big key for the Heat if they're going to do anything in this series is what they do about the two-man game with Jamal Murray and Jokic. Because it seems like Jamal Murray and Jokic, they can either get the shot they want or create the shot they want for their teammates every single time out of that action.
I don't think you can do anything about it. Like at that point, it's pick your poison. You're gonna let Jamal Murray go off, or you're gonna let Jokic create for
Mm,
himself or others. Um, I mean that's these two. We're looking at a top five all time guard big duo,
mm,
honestly,
mm.
and it's just so hard to guard. It's like when you had Shaq and Kobe. Like, what could you do? You couldn't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing
who am I
about you,
trying to
I
think?
think,
Tony Parker
to,
and Tim Duncan, like those
yeah,
types of players, like you can't do anything about that, really.
the thing that, to your point, why it's, in my opinion, so hard to stop is because both of those guys aren't just scoring threats out of that pick and roll. They're also making the right decisions out of
Mm-hmm.
the defensive rotations that come across or wherever they're helping from. And so that's what makes it just that other element that you have to game plan for. Do you stay home a little bit more and hope Jokic doesn't finish over the top or Murray doesn't get to the cup,
Well, it's
or do
just yeah,
you let him spray that thing out there?
it's hard too because if you watch the NBA, so many there's really no true ball screen coverage. It's all switch. Like you switch everything
Mm,
almost. So if you watch whenever Jimmy like late games when the best guys when Steph Curry has the ball, Braun has the ball, anyone like any of those type of players have the ball, Jamal Murray, Jimmy Butler, they're looking for the ball screen that's gonna give them the best
yeah,
matchup one on one, and that's who they always call up. Hey, I need you to come set a ball screen, set a good one because I'll switch it if I can get deep enough. And
yeah.
which is crazy to me how a lot of teams don't like that's just such a forgotten thing as ball screen coverages and just the way the game's spread out and the passing that's being able to be made that you almost have to be switching every time.
Hmm. The one thing I'll say about that the Heat did well, and I think that would be good for them, not necessarily to have the, and I'm talking about how they switched to that trap and defense on trap and ball screens on Jamal
Mm-hmm.
Murray's ball screens. Um, Not necessarily having that as your primary ball screen coverage, and doing it every time, but using that as a thing that you throw in there that's like, hey, out of a timeout, we're gonna for this for until we say stop, we're in this trap and defense on Jamal Murray. Um, because and I would say a healthy dose of it, not just doing it a little bit, but like a healthy dose of getting the ball out of Jamal Murray's hands,
Mm-hmm.
um,
More like what they
as
did in
much as
game
you can.
two. More like what they did in game two.
Yeah.
I was just about to say
What
because I
what was
know
that?
they made Jokic just primary scorer. They really just
Yeah.
made him the primary scoring guy, and all of it, all of that. what I was gonna say, what was interesting to me, because I texted you about this, is when I noticed it, is how the Heat went in from a 2-2-1 like soft press into 3-2
Yeah.
zone. Like, dude, what?
Yeah. It was
And
funny to me, like, I guess, shoot, if you feel like that's what's gonna do, do your defense best, then all power to you. But you just don't see that in the NBA. It
yeah,
was funny to see a 2-2-1 press in the NBA.
yeah, no. Last game, Jamal Murray only had 18 points.
And I don't know if it was a true like 2-2-1 zone press or if it was more of a matchup kind of man you and then back into the zone out of it, but like it certainly looked like a straight up 2-2-1 zone.
It was interesting for sure. I was
Yeah.
sitting there like, what? What is going on here? Am I watching a college game? Am I scouting
Yeah, that
somebody
cracked
right
me up
now?
when you sent me that.
Hey guys, these guys go to a 2-2-1 into a 3-2, so be ready for that.
Yeah. I
I was,
think I think like sorry not to cut you off, but like that's a smart thing I think on the Heat's part because not allowing the Nuggets to get into their actions until later in the possession, I think is going to help
uh-huh,
them.
uh-huh. Because NBA offenses are action based. There's no like
Hmm.
if you really watch pick and roll off ball actions, that's really what it is comes down to is just actions, actions,
Yeah.
actions, actions, and so
Well, and I feel like
if you
if
can,
they're
yeah,
gonna
if you,
run stuff, it's gonna be more entries. Like they're gonna
uh-huh,
run an entry and then they're gonna play out of it, you
uh-huh.
know?
And then, so like if you can limit a team to just doing one of those a possession, your odds of guarding them successfully are a lot better
Hmm.
than if they're getting two or three actions in a possession, whether you're running off
Yeah.
screens or having to fight through screens. That makes life hell. And with the way
Well, and I
you,
think that's what that.
yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just about to say because it's just the way with the way you score the ball. This ball gets scored nowadays.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Well, and I think that's what the Heat were trying to do. Is they're not getting into their stuff until about 14 or 15 on that clock, and
Mm-hmm.
that's like you said, enough for maybe one or two movements or swings, and then
Yeah,
you got
for
to
sure.
start looking to get a shot up.
For sure.
The one thing I wanted to ask you about, though, and if you think it's going to be a factor, is how many minutes. For me, it's obviously Jokic and Murray, with Jokic playing 44 and Murray playing 45 minutes last night, but also Aaron Gordon playing 34, which isn't a ton, um, but that's a decent amount of minutes if you think, especially their two-headed monster, if that's going to play a factor in the coming games.
The amount of minutes that they're being played.
Yeah, specifically this
No,
past game.
I don't think so. You get there in the finals, you get 2 days off anyways
Mm,
in between games, so you get that. It's different than that a game every other day. Um, and at the same time, like it's the NBA finals.
mm,
Some points, you just, like we talked about a while ago. These guys train for this. This is specifically a part of their training and all that stuff. So they're ready for these moments. They're ready for, hey man, if you need me for the whole game besides 3 minutes, then yeah, go ahead, put me in. So
mm.
I think you could just give them like a quick 1 minute rest at the beginning of every quarter or so, and then I'm just riding them out, honestly. Or give them majority of their rest in the first half and then let them know like, hey, second half guys, I need you to be you're not coming out. You're not coming
Mm.
out. So I don't think
First
it
of
plays that
all,
much of a factor.
First of all, was that a hiccup or a burp?
It was a hiccup.
Yeah, that I couldn't tell. It was kind of in between. Um, but no, to your point, I think it's crunch time and it's winning time, and I think both Jokic and Murray understand that, and they certainly play like it. Like I didn't notice. a ton of decrease in the intensity of their play amongst those extended minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so I think it might play, and I think you're to your point, they're going to be smart about
Uh-huh.
the way they sub with those guys in the coming games, especially specifically game four.
Yeah. Now let me say one thing here, no, thinking about it. Those type of minutes are a lot easier when you have Christian Braun scoring 15 points and Aaron Gordon scoring 11
Mm.
points and other guys helping out. Now if it's just Jokic and Murray with 30 and everyone else is in single digits, then it's like, okay, those minutes are a lot more grueling because they're really trying to score and do things of that
Mm.
nature. So there's a difference in it too, I think. But
That's a great point.
yeah,
That's a great point. Two guys I want to talk about. You already mentioned Christian Brown, and the one thing I love that he was doing, and I can't remember if it was Mark Jackson or if it was Jeff Van Gundy talking about it. Maybe it was both, but when they were trapping Jamal Murray in the ball screens, he Christian Braun wasn't just standing in the corner because that
no,
like he was really flashing into those areas where he's a second outlet for Jamal Murray. So and then scoring it and finishing the play. Um, Also came up with a few big rebounds. I thought like really went up amongst the trees and got some boards. Um, but the guy I want to talk about is Michael Porter Jr. Not even really about his offense, the 2 points, but about the defense. Like he's a dude that I saw, and it was in a couple straight possessions in the third quarter, I think, where I was like, man, the Heat could really attack this dude with a guy that can cut well off the ball and stuff like that.
I mean,
But I guess I didn't.
yeah,
Sorry, I said I had a question, but
yeah.
that wasn't really a question.
No, I think the liability is MPJ, and that's why he wasn't in the game down the stretch in those
Mm,
crunch minutes. Now Christian Braun didn't get a whole lot of minutes in the Lakers series. One because of size. That's a series. That's not a series for him. And two, he did have some defensive breakdowns. I remember he got some run in game three and had like a defensive lapse and got subbed
mm,
immediately. So he's having this series fits him better, so it's a lot better for his for what he does defensively and just being an energy
mm.
guy. Um but you can't really play Jesus MPJ if you're if he's not shooting well. If he's broke, then what good? There's really no use for him to be out there other than he's tall. Um, but what more
Especially when
does?
he's not scoring.
Yeah, when he's not scoring, it's
Yeah,
what are you doing? Um,
when
but
he's
they
not
have
hitting
all
shots,
they
it's
have
like,
they
dude,
have all
man.
sorts of pieces that they can plug in for that. They have Bruce Brown, Christian Braun, Jeff
Hmm.
Green, all these vets. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Denver's just. I was a little like, oh damn, after game two, but game three just made it even like solidified it a little bit more that they're clearly the better team. But
Yeah,
go ahead, go
yeah.
ahead.
No. I was just saying that um, the Nuggets started to scare me a little bit there at the end, or kind of in that more early in that fourth quarter ish.
Hmm.
Um, but the way they finished that game out, I'm not concerned about them. I think for going back to our predictions, you're gonna be a little bit because I said it's gonna go 7 games. I think it's gonna be a little bit closer to 6. Um, to your credit, my friend.
Uh huh. Yeah, I think Miami gets his next one though. I do, but
Mm.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought it was going to be Miami winning game three and then Denver winning four, five, and six. I thought that's how it was going to play out. I was hoping it'd play out that way, make a little,
Mm,
put a little odds against the Nuggets, see how they respond. But I think the Heat will come out game four. Big game for them. If they don't come out game four, oh, this
mm,
could be a gentleman's sweep, 100%.
yeah.
But I still Nuggets in six. They're gonna win it in Miami, and they're gonna party their asses off in Miami.
Oh, that's the spot to do it, I'm sure. I cannot speak from experience, but
Me either, but if I'm winning an NBA title, I'd hope it'd be in Los Angeles, Miami, New York.
yeah.
Those one of those places.
Yeah, man. I hear nothing but good things about Miami and just the
The
enjoyable scene out there.
the vibe in Miami, Vice City.
The
So
vibes. The vibes.
oh, the vibes. Good vibes out there. So I've been told. Oh
Shout
yeah, I
out
was
my
gonna
guy
ask you
Diaz,
this.
but I'll go out and see you one of these days if you listen, Diaz.
I was gonna ask you this. I saw this right before. If Jokic wins this, does he become the best international basketball player we've ever seen? Picture they put Dirk. They put it better than Dirk, so saying Dirk's the best international basketball player ever.
So Dirk's number one right now.
Yeah, so they don't have him over here. They must have Giannis like second.
Mm. Well, I think to me that's about your criteria because it goes to like the LeBron, MJ, Kobe, all of that conversation. Bill Russell, if you're talking about championships. So if that's your criteria of winning championships, you got to put like Tony Parker,
Oh
Manu
yeah,
Ginobili up there. But as far as just if you're talking to just about basketball player and just somebody that,
straight up player.
yeah, straight up hooper, man, Jokic. Because the crazy thing is, Jokic hits Dirk type shots. Like he'll put it
Dude, for
back over
real.
his head, be turning around on one foot, cash in one, just water, and it's like that's Dirk right there.
For real.
Um, but I mean, just maybe it's just in the moment, but I have a hard time not agreeing with that. Um, just based off what we're seeing from Jokic right now.
Oh, dude, Jokic is. I already put him better than that. Honestly, from what we've seen from
He's
him,
number
the
numero
dude,
uno.
the dude has had a triple double in. I'm pretty sure every single. No, not every single game, but 95% of the games of the playoffs this year. Like 13 or 14 games or something
Mm,
like that. He's had a triple double. He's averaging a triple double throughout the whole playoffs. He scored 10 points and had 10 assists in game 1 and ended up with like 27, 14, and 10. So
yeah.
his ability to do everything is crazy
Hmm.
for how
Okay, but
big he is too.
real quick, isn't Tim Duncan Jamaican?
Dominican Republic, I think.
Hold on. I think he's either Jamaican. Yeah, you're right. It says he's American, but
He was
Virgin Islands.
uh, that's part of the U.S.
Yeah, U.S. Virgin Islands. Okay. So yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Back on the Jokic thing, it's
Yeah,
his
100.
ability to take over a game scoring wise and also do it on the glass and making plays for his teammates. It's crazy.
The way he passes the ball is crazy. Some of the passing angles he can get, insane.
Mm. You can just palm
Um,
that thing like handball. and he'll just whip it, just whoop, kind of like
Let me
bowling
pass
it.
this way. Let me pass that way. Let me pass that
Yeah,
way.
palm it, throw it over his head.
The game of basketball must be so easy when you're 7 foot and can do stuff like that. Like that, it must be just so great to play.
He makes it look easy, man.
For real. For how unathletic and dorky he is.
Bro, he pirouettes around like a ballerina though. Like he
They
just
did
is so light on his feet.
they did him so dirty. He in game one or whatever, what was it? They were showing all his past pictures and they pull up the picture of him all fat and chunky when he was like 10 years old. I'm like, guys, y'all
They've
are
been doing
foul
that
for the I
after
know, but
every
it's
win. They've been
what
doing
is
that.
this? Is this like a shot to him or is this telling you, hey, you can be fat but still be the greatest basketball player in
I
the NBA?
think I think it's more a shot at the Heat and kind of just the haters of Jokic in general of, hey, this dude that is destroying you guys on the floor right now, this is what he looked like back in the day. All right?
Uh-huh.
So it's more just a message to him, in my opinion.
So
I
foul.
don't know, but I keep seeing that pop up too.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, that's all. I mean, that's do you got anything else?
No, man, let's make some. You're sticking with your 6 games.
Yes. I'm sticking with six
Well,
games.
in my opinion, I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna feel terrible if it does end up going 7. But since we both think 7 games is not happening, I'm just gonna say 5 just for um, shits and gigs. Um, I
Five?
think I think yeah, I think they're gonna gentleman sweep them. Obviously, if it gets to 5, we're not saying I win, but um, or that I was right or whatever. But I don't think it's even gonna get to 6.
Okay. You know,
I think the
there's been
Heat beat
moments,
them or
there's been
the
mo
Nugs beat
th
them tomorrow or this
there's been
whatever
moments where I've
day.
thought that, where I've been like, you know what, the Nuggets could I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. I won't be surprised. They're just
Who's the
that good
last
this
team to
year.
get gentlemen swept? Who's the last team to get gentlemen swept in the finals?
Who do you think? Take a wild guess. And I know this answer. You don't even have to search it. LeBron James. Last
Oh,
person to
really?
get gentlemen swept and swept.
Mm,
Back to back years. LeBron.
mm. LeBron. You love that, don't you?
Oh
That's
yeah.
sweet off the tongue for you. No, man, but yeah, that's all I got for the finals and just the recap.
Yep, me
Think
too.
it's gonna go 5.
Big games that tomorrow or Saturday.
Let's take a gander here.
Schedule.
Tomorrow.
Friday. Whoa, okay. Okay.
Tomorrow night. Tune in.
Anytime tuning in. You guys tune in here, like, comment, subscribe, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Let us know. Keep
Everything.
subscribing. I already said subscribe, but keep subscribing because that goes up all the time. It's cool when we get new subscribers. So
We
just
love seeing that.
click the subscribe button. Other than that, Kitchen Hook Podcast. That's all I got.
Coming in
Peace.
hot. Episode 17. See y'all later.